Love is Blind. Let me know in the comments if you know the show. And I have just come across the show actually. I generally don't watch much Netflix, but I just came across the show just because I was sick last week. The last 2 weeks I was actually sick, really busy. That's why I also haven't been coming up live here. So I just used this time to like watch a show. And the concept of this is basically that couples, like 15 women and 15 men, talk to each other in rooms where they can see each other, but they can talk to each other. And then when they have an emotional connection, they kind of like, I think the men usually propose, and then they have 4 weeks of getting to know each other, like I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks vacation and then 2 weeks of living together, and then after a total 6 weeks of knowing each other, I think it's 6 weeks, yeah, they are getting married. So let me share with you my thoughts about this show. So I have to admit though that I haven't gotten into the US version yet. I've started with the German version, the UK version, but the concept is basically similar. I mean, it's the same everywhere. All right, so first thing first, I think 6 weeks is just way too short. It really is way too short to marry someone. Even if they live together for 2 weeks, even if they are on vacation for 2 weeks, it is really way too short. And I do not recommend anyone marrying in 6 weeks, and I will tell you in a second why. There are actually psychological evolutionary reasons behind it. Okay, like the whole idea is kind of really cute, like people just want to get married, they want to have love in their life. It's a really cute idea. And I'm gonna start with what I do agree with, right? Like those 15 people talk to 15 people. Like I really do agree with that concept, which is beautiful, where you just talk to people. And you don't have to talk to one person, you can talk to multiple people and you just talk. Yeah, so the relationship starts with talking. It doesn't start with a one night stand. It doesn't start with a hookup. You actually talk and see, okay, do we have something in common? Do we like each other? Can we talk as friends? Like, do we have similar goals and visions? So I really like this aspect about the show, that people just start the relationship with talking and not with hooking up, which often happens too. And it is risky because you don't know if you are compatible or not, right? When you don't talk and when you start with hooking up, the problem is that you might not even have the time to talk. You might not even figure out until 1 or 2 or 3 years in if you are even compatible. So just like save yourself those couple years. I'm talking to women and men, and just talk whenever you're dating, even outside of the show, in this world, just talk to people. Okay, let's talk about the blind concept. Do I think that the blind concept is good? Let me share with you a personal opinion and then an opinion from a coach perspective, since I am a dating and relationship coach for the last decade, but full time since over 5 years. So personally, I could not do this. Like, although I'm not like, how can I say, I'm not overly visual, I am a little bit flexible, but I couldn't do it. Like, I don't know how to explain. I personally couldn't do it. I need to see the person. Like, it's not the number one point, but it is the third, fourth, fifth point. But I do realize that they put really attractive people in the show. So, attractive people are generally liked. So it's okay. But if I was to date in the world, I need to see the person. I just need to see that because, yeah, if the person doesn't take care of themselves, it should, or she wouldn't be attractive to me. So I can't do that at all. But again, like in the show, they generally put very attractive people who take care of themselves. So, they're the generally okay. But I couldn't be doing a blind Tinder, like love is blind, just not seeing how the person looks like. I just couldn't do that. Although it's not my number one thing, even if someone looks really, really good, but they are not a good match in other life areas like goals or values, it wouldn't work out, right? Okay. And from a coach perspective, I think it can be really beneficial for a lot of people to at least not see those people in the beginning. I think unless you are very self-aware that you're gonna drop this guy or this woman even though she is gorgeous or he is so handsome because the values don't align, unless you're so self-aware, I think it's a good thing if you don't see this person because then you don't know, is he handsome, is she hot, you don't know that, and then okay, we're not aligned, we're not compatible, she wants kids, he doesn't, he wants kids, she doesn't, like those compatibility topics, they don't align, then it's easier to let go. But when this person is just so attractive, so handsome, so beautiful, there might be resistance, you know what I mean? So you've got to be self-aware. And if you're self-aware, I think I'm very self-aware. When I would be dating, I'm very self-aware. If you can have this discipline and self-awareness and be like, okay, no matter what, we are not compatible, I let go of you even though you are gorgeous, then yeah, it's okay, you see the person from the beginning. But if you don't have the self-awareness, it's better you just talk. Okay? It's better you just talk because yeah, when you're compatible, then this is the foundation. And that's why I really love this talking part about the show, that you just talk without hooking up, without kissing, without doing anything. You just talk and see, are we actually compatible? Do we have a friendship component in there? Okay, then, by the way, everybody, let me know in the comments after this live stream if you actually enjoy such reviews, or if you wanna know more even about this show. You can ask me even specific questions. You can put it in the comments, or you can even send me an email with those questions. Then, the getting married at 6 weeks. Again, I don't think that's a good idea at all. At all. Because after 3 months, you only see the person's true personality. And also after 3 months, 3 to 6 months, you yourself are going to build an opinion if you actually like this person or not. The first 3 months is just chemistry. It's just like this, wow, you're just perfect. But the hormones start like this, especially when you are intimate, it's just like, wow, you're just perfect for 3 months. But then the hormones start to drop and the reality kicks in, and then you see the whole person. You see the whole person. And not only you see the other whole person, you also see yourself if you can deal with the other person. So when you are dating, I recommend you to just be dating for 6 months. To just be dating for 6 months, or at least 3 months until you are engaged. Because only time tells, and it's not about spending lots of time with each other. Like those couples in this love, reason why you need that time of 3 to 6 months is not because you need more time with the person. You need a longer time frame so that you can get to know the whole person, so that your excitement hormones drop and you're like, okay, who is this chick? Who is this guy? Do I actually want to be with him forever? Do I know him? And you can spend whole 4 weeks sitting on top of each other. You will not know the person because you actually need those 3 to 6 months where the hormones drop, where the daily routines come up, and in those 6 months you also don't need to see each other 24/7. You don't need to live with each other. You don't. You just need to let this time pass. And my method is actually really effective because every single of my clients who get engaged after this period, they actually get married. And you can see in Love is Blind, the couples who get engaged, I mean, most of them, they are just breaking up, which is expectable, unfortunately, because they don't know each other. It doesn't matter that they spent 4 weeks sitting next to each other. You need that time frame. So this is way too short. Like, in my opinion, this is way too short because you really need to spend months. Doesn't mean you see each other every day. It's enough to see the person once a week. Really, it's enough. But you need a time span to allow the time to reveal the whole person. And a lot of the times, it won't be a good match, but sometimes it will. You know, when you see the whole person, you see their downsides. One of my personal downsides is that I am actually messy and chaotic. I'm trying to be more organized, like really. I really do. And especially now, lately, it's getting better. But imagine I'm with someone who's so chaotic as well. That's a catastrophe. But the good news is a lot of people are organized and I can follow instructions. So if someone tells me, okay, this is the structure, here you put this stuff, you put this stuff, I can follow that. So it kind of works out. You know what I mean? But that's my negative point where I'm not super organized. But a lot of people can still live with me and deal with me because I can follow their structure. And I love if someone gives me a structure of like, okay, where to put stuff in the kitchen or whatever. um I can follow the structure. I sometimes I make my own structure. So I kind of like, it's a negative point, but many people can work with it. Some people don't. What else? I don't want to spin all my negative sides to you guys, but you get my point, yeah? There will be negative points that you actually can live with, and it won't be a big deal. But there will be negative points where you're like, I absolutely can't take it. I just cannot. Okay, so let me give you another example. Maybe one person has anxiety and it didn't show in the first 3 months because guess what? That's the excitement full of dopamine and oxytocin hormones, and you're like on cloud nine and you're coming only back to earth on month four or month six, whenever. But that anxiety didn't show, and then the anxiety shows at month 4 or 5 or 6. Okay, and some people can deal with that, but some people are very sensitive. So for example, I'm very sensitive. I cannot um i cannot deal with someone who has like full on anxiety or anger issues. So I just can't do this. Like, there are people who literally don't care, but I cannot. I cannot deal with that, especially not in my partner that I see every day. Okay, so again, we all are not perfect. Nobody is perfect. It's not about perfection. It's about getting to know the whole person and being like, can you deal with that? Or maybe there's a specific diet difference. I had a client I was talking to yesterday. She said one guy, they are actually dating for a year now, right? She says, oh, this guy, he eats a crappy diet, he doesn't work out, he smokes, he drinks, and I'm like full on into fitness, eating healthy. And she talked to me the first time, but like, she only realized after 1 year. You know what I mean? So it takes intentionality, it takes time to get to know a person because you don't want to just be married. You want it to last. You want it to be compatible and fulfilling and all of those beautiful things, right? So yeah, take your time. See the whole person. See if You love the whole person. Then the last point that I want to touch on here is that what I see a lot in those couples in Love is Blind too, where I'm like, please pause it. I want to coach you on that. Is they don't talk properly with each other. Some do, and that the ones that do, they actually have a higher chance of being together and staying together. But a lot of couples, they just don't talk. They're like, yeah, what's the problem? I don't know. And then they're acting out, but they don't communicate. They don't talk. What's the problem? So that's another field that coaching really helps you to find out what is actually your problem. This is, you know, this meme, what do you want? It's not that simple. What do you want? It's not that simple. Like, we make fun of women that they don't know what they want, but honestly, men also don't know what they want. And you can see that in that show. So many things can be communicated through. There can be compromises. There can be things that you just work through, and they should be. This is so important for a relationship, for a marriage. But you've got to talk and you've got to know what you want. And if you don't know, please, please talk to me. I'm going to help you find out what is your problem with intentional questions. Because the problem is when a person doesn't know what they want, doesn't know what's bothering them, and then comes to the partner and says, like, oh, rolling their eyes and being like, oh, you're just always annoying. Okay, yeah, she's annoying, but why? What's the annoying part? Tell it. I don't know. So you see, relationships can be simple when you know what you want and communicate it, and the other person actually adjust. But if you don't know, it's like it's like driving without a navigation system. You just don't know where you are, and you just get lost. So yeah, communication, and that is just so heartbreaking because so many couples just break up because they don't communicate. They just don't. And I see this a lot of in men, by the way, too. Yeah, it's just not working out. Let's just go. Or men just not saying anything and silently suffering. I don't want that for you guys to silently suffer. You get to speak up too, just as much as women do. Okay? And just breaking up because something isn't working isn't the best solution either. If you want to be in a long-term relationship, if you want to have a wife, a husband, if you want to have especially children, you've got to be communicating and making things work. Yes, the compatibility foundations has to be there, but above that, it's communication. All right? Not just stuffing it inside of you and then rolling your eyes because you're just annoyed, and also not just running away and saying it's not working out, it's not working out, I'm not feeling well. Yeah, okay, but why? Unless a person is literally a narcissist, if you tell the other person what's bothering you, they will comply, they will find a compromise, you know. So again, relationships can be so beautiful, but they can be also so complicated if communication is missing, you know. And if you guys enjoyed this, let me know in the comments. If you want to hear more reviews, if you have any specific question to that show, let me know. And if you are yourself in the process of dating, you want to find your dream partner, your dream husband, your dream wife, and you don't want to have like a tragic breakup, you actually want it to last, and you want to have a loving, fulfilling relationship, make sure to reach out for a free love audit call. You can send me an email. There's also a link for in the description box that you can apply to, a link in my bio. If you watched this video longer ago, a link, go to my bio, check out the links. Yeah, apply for a free love audit call. I'm gonna be so happy to help you on your dating journey. And if you're already in a relationship and you actually have those communications problems where maybe you are stuffing down your needs and things are just cold and distant in your relationship, and you don't want to leave because you love this person, but then you think, "Ah, it's just so difficult and heavy," reach out to me. Let's work through that, okay? Because there is 100% a solution, okay? And I'm gonna be so happy to help you through this. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next video.